Hi, everyone. Welcome to what is essentially the second week of a new approach to hopefully get better at communication. Next to me is Pastor Paul. And the first half of this video really is to let you hear from us directly about some of the things that are going on around here and why we're doing what we're doing. This is really an update video. For those of you who are not participating in sermon-based content, as soon as this part is done, you can just turn it off. For those of you who are participating in sermon-based life group content, as soon as this is done, keep the video playing and we'll have more information and material for you there. Paul, you shared something with me yesterday that was hard to hear. What was that?
Yeah. So I know you love tough topics, so I think that's what we just dive right in on.
Okay.
So we've heard news that within this community, we had a local congregation that's experiencing an outbreak in COVID.
Man. And it seems like it might be related to not following COVID protocol.
That's right. And I know that that's a sensitive subject for lots of you. Even within your life groups, you're struggling with these topics and these issues. Some of us are concerned. We've talked about the idea of what would it be like to be singing without masks. And so we revisited that. We talked again with our experts and asked them what they thought about that.
Or what would it be like to sing with masks on?
Yeah.
When I hear about this church, and we're obviously not gonna name their name because we don't want to cross the line into gossip, but it grieves me to hear that. I hate that. I hate that for them. I hate what these folks are experiencing. Additionally, I hate how this will impact the credibility of believers, how this will impact the credibility of Jesus potentially in this community. That's something that I think is appropriate to grieve as well. The reality is we can see the finish line. The finish line for COVID and COVID protocols, it seems like we can see it. I know that people would love for vaccinations to be distributed more quickly. I wish I had more info on that, but we can see the finish line. I was thinking about the stat that says the majority of accidents take place within 5 miles of your house or within 5 minutes of your home. I can't remember which one it is, but I think the reason for that is there's a human nature tendency to drop our guard, not when we cross the finish line, but when we're approaching the finish line. And what I want to continue to encourage us to do is let's make sure we don't drop our guard until we cross the finish line. We can see the finish line and we're tired. I mean, I bet that there are people in our church, I know that there are people in our church that they hate. They're just tired of it. Some of the COVID protocols we've adopted. Guess what? I hate them too.
That's right.
We wrestled recently whether or not can we sing with masks on? And one of the reasons that we decided no, we're not going to sing with masks on because the best medical data that we have right now tells us that singing even with masks on would be the equivalent of everybody in the room taking off their mask and just talking for however long we would be singing. That's something that we're uncomfortable with. So we've decided, let's wait. We're going to sing at home. We're going to sing in private. We're going to let the band lead. But we're not going to do that now because we're trying to honor what's in the best interest of others. We're trying to honor the best medical advice that we have. We're trying to honor elected officials. So this is where we are. And we're tired. But I'm asking people to lean in. Don't drop your guard until we cross the finish line. Not simply when we see the finish line coming. Does that make sense?
It does. And can I just encourage you as you're in your life groups today and you're watching us, have this conversation amongst yourselves. It's going to be natural that there's some varying opinions about this, but have a good conversation of what it means to love people well during the season and what it's like to just hang on for a little bit longer as we near the finish line.
That's absolutely right. Sometimes people have asked me, sometimes people ask in a friendly way, sometimes people ask in a not so friendly way, are we trying to placate government officials? That's not the case at all. The thing that really gives me pause is a verse in Hebrews 13 that indicates that I'm going to have to give an account to Christ for how I lead as a pastor. And so one day, assuming I'm going to be giving him an account, even if I got it wrong, when I give him an account, I want to be able to say I got it wrong for the right reasons.
Yeah, you erred on the side of...
I erred on the side of love. I'm just doing, Jesus, I did my very best to love your bride, to do what I believed was in the best interest of everyone involved, and to to honor the best information that we have and to ultimately to honor you. That is the heartbeat of our pastors. That is the heartbeat of our elder board. I know that is the heartbeat of everybody watching. And sometimes we feel tired, and that's okay. But we're going to keep up our guard. Not until we see the finish line, but until we cross the finish line. Guys, we hope that you have a great time in your groups. Let's keep praying, and let's hang in there, and we'll see you next week.